Welcome back to the show, everybody. It's Monday. This is the Monday mashup. Joining me as always, refreshed and back from Blackpool, wearing those lovely colours.
Oh, yes.
Our resident ref, Mark. How are you, my friend?
Thanks for having me back again, cuz. Yeah, back from sunny Blackpool. It was an
What happens?
interesting trip.
You go away on a little bit of a trip and all hell breaks loose, basically.
I know,
Crazy,
yeah.
crazy,
And
crazy
even
stuff.
this weekend as well, just gone. And even what's
Yeah,
happening tonight in the first half of the Spurs and Chelsea game as well.
mad. As always, folks, subscribe to the channel, hit the bell notification, drop a like on the video. As always, really enjoying the content at the moment. Let us know your thoughts on the weekend's action in the comments. If you like, Eno's in there. How are you, Eno? What's the crack, Niall? Intense match Saturday, certainly was.
How are you,
I believe it was Newcastle versus Arsenal, wasn't? You're missing it tonight. It's a more intense match tonight, that's for sure. But
Crazy first half.
we'll keep you posted on Tottenham versus Chelsea. Currently 1-1. Romero with a red card, and rightly so. Could have had two reds
Two, yeah.
at this stage. And
But,
Udogie as well. Lots of stuff going in.
I was just going to say, do you know who I feel sorry for? Brendan Johnson, who got taken off then because he's barely got a look in and he gets a start tonight. He's doing all right. Watch him a lot with Forest, not just in the Premier League, but myself, I love watching the Championship. He finally gets a start, and then obviously Romero gets sent off, and he's the one that has to be sacrificed and taken off. And Eric Dyer comes on, so I really felt sorry for him when he got taken off there.
Yeah, and it looks like Mickey Van de Ven went off with a hamstring, pulled up holding his hamstring.
And Maddison went off as well.
Maddison went off injured as well. So it's all crumbling down at the moment for Spurs.
Yeah.
So we shall see what happens tonight. But certainly it makes the league very interesting. Daz is in the comments. How are you, Daz? Good to see you there as always.
How are you, Daz?
Mark out Niall. Absolutely.
All right, buddy.
So let's get in. Premier League review, as they say. Something for you to smile about this week. It's not too bad.
Thankfully, just
about, yeah. So we'll start off then. Craven Cottage, Fulham 0, Manchester United 1. Both teams horrendous, but Bruno coming up with the goods just in the nick of time. Thoughts?
Yeah, listen, I always knew it was going to be a tough game going there, especially the run of form we were on. Silva would have probably fancied getting something against us. They started off pressing us very high up the pitch, and we had that goal that was ruled out for offside, which I agreed on the final decision, whatever. But I thought Harry Maguire had an excellent game again. There was obviously he got a few knocks to the head throughout the game, and fair play to him. He stayed on, and he's been solid. Listen, he's had a rough time on and off the pitch, and a lot of criticism, especially from myself. But he could have easily went to West Ham, but he said he wanted to stay and fight first place. And obviously, he's lucky enough. We have a few injuries in that area, but I think like I've mentioned it here a few weeks ago. I think as well, since he's got the armband taken off him, he's playing like a bit more freer or something, like with a bit less pressure on him. But yeah, it was great to see Garnacho starting. Pelestri again for the goal. He was involved. He never gave up. There was about 4 times where he just kept pressing the ball. Eventually, he got a touch to the edge of the box for Bruno. And Bruno went to go one way, dummy, came back and scored an excellent goal, and it was a much needed 3 points. Obviously, a clean sheet away from home, which is always a bonus as well. And do you know what? We did soak up a lot of pressure from Fulham. I think they had about 4 or 5 corners in a row there towards the end where we could have caved in, but lucky enough we stayed on. And like I said, it's a well-earned 3 points on the road.
Yeah, absolutely. There was plenty of pressure towards the end of the first half as well. What did you make of Maguire? I know he stayed on. I think apparently I was reading, did the referee request him to go off or something like that? He was worried about him or something.
At one stage in the second half, there was the ball had gone out for a goal kick for us, and he was looking a bit kind of lightheaded, and the referee went over to him and requested that he get medical assistance. But obviously they went through all the protocols that needs to be for concussion and head injuries, and he was told he could come back on. So yeah, but fair play to the referee for spotting it, because it's one of those things. I think didn't he have a cut under his eye as well from the very first bang he got? Then he got one after that as well. So it was a combination of things. But yeah, no, fair play to him. We stayed on, and I thought he had a really good game as well.
Yeah, absolutely. Brentford 3, West Ham 2. What a game! What a goal by Brunos. See that kudos
Unreal.
goal?
Yeah. See his assist as well for Bones goal. He didn't know anything about it. But no, listen, fair. It was some finish. Like he took it really well, just inside the post on the right hand side from a bicycle kick, and West Ham could have been 3-1 up. That Antonio chance where Benrahma was coming in at the back post as well. They could have been, but listen, fair play. Our own man from League Slip, just down the road here, Nathan Collins, was involved in the last two Brentford goals. Obviously, he put pressure on for the OG, and then it was a wonderful cross in and a great header. We know we can do that, and it was an excellent goal, and it was a great performance by Brentford. Obviously, I would have put that down as a draw. I don't know what you might have said on Thursday, but I would have definitely put it down as a draw. But West Ham be very disappointed with that.
I think actually Darren called it a Brentford win. I think, believe it or
Really?
not. Yeah, I think I put it down as a draw in one of my bets. I think on Beat the Bookie, but I think Darren called it a Brentford one as well.
And did you see the relief on Maupay scoring that first goal? 14 months. Without listen, it was a weird move for him. I thought when he went to Everton from Brighton that time, I just thought there was something up, and it was just
his interview. His interview after. Made it very clear about stuck the knife in there big time, didn't
100%. Even when it happened, I thought it was a strange move, and he went there, and obviously it didn't happen, and he's gotten the move back to Brentford where it kind of initially started for him, and it was great to see him. You've seen the celebration sliding on the knees. It's just the adrenaline came out of his body, and it was, listen, what was it, 14 months ago, Joe? So maybe that might be a sign of things to come. I think, are they playing you this weekend?
Brentford, yeah.
So his confidence be sky high, as will the rest of them. With that going to use on Saturday, I think it's Saturday, isn't it? Saturday morning.
No, Sunday 2:00.
Sunday, is it?
Yeah. We're normally Saturday 12:30, but Sunday 2:00.
True.
They could hardly put a Saturday 12:30 when we're playing on Thursday in the Europa.
Oh yeah, sorry about that.
And I'm not saying that they wouldn't. They certainly would.
If they could get away with it, they would. All right, but
yeah, absolutely. Yeah, Danny, you're spot on. Liverpool players just weren't focused at all. It was just ridiculous, to be honest. Stevenson, Antonio, you greedy dinosaur.
You're right, Stephen. He went with the left foot. He was stretching on it. It wasn't going to go in, but you seen Benrahma's reaction to it after as well.
Oh, was that the one where they both went for it?
Yeah,
and then he was staring them down. That was just, oh my God. They looked like they wanted to kill each other.
And in fairness, that would have made it 3-1 to West Ham, and you think they just see it out from there. I know it was still in the first half, but Jesus, it just went down.
These moments are mad, aren't they, when you think about it? Like, you think 3-1 West Ham, they'd be cruising.
Yeah.
And the next thing 3-2 Brentford. It's just crazy stuff.
Madness.
Burnley 0, Crystal Palace 2. Big win for Crystal Palace. Badly needed.
It was, and they were missing a few players and stuff like that. Some of the results haven't gone well for them. Particularly, remember they went ahead in Villa Park a few weeks ago, and Villa got back into it and stuff like that. But on the other hand, Burnley, yes, they're really, really struggling. I think everyone, Stevie Wonder, can see they're going down this season as well. It'd be a question of the American owners now. Will they stick by company till the end of the season? He tried to bring his own stamp on things, his own style of play. We've seen it in the Championship working very good, but it's a different ball game in the Premier League. It'd be interesting to see are any other teams out there looking at him going, if Burnley get rid of him, we could be in here, because they might like the style of play that he plays. He wants to play football. So there could be another few teams out there on looking at his radar, thinking, we could get him in now if Burnley do intend to let him go.
Yeah, absolutely. Ace, so keep on telling you. What do you mean TV fixtures are a joke this weekend? You're obviously not in the know. I tell you what to do. Get yourself a VPN. This is very simple, and this is all above board. Get yourself a VPN, set yourself to America, go on to Peacock, and subscribe to Peacock. It's $5.99 a month, and I think that's dollars.
The Premier League channel is very good on Peacock.
And you have access to every single game. Every single game. Do not let what happens in Europe deter you from your ability to watch football. It's crazy. We are playing Thursday in the league. But FC, absolutely mad, isn't it? We should have battered them. Yeah, absolutely. It's just, but isn't that the way Brentford are like that? They stay in games even when they're out of them.
They do. They
Come on, the
have.
Blues, absolutely, Nigel. Yeah.
But like they haven't been the Brentford of last season, this season. But you still think against the likes of West Ham, and listen, West Ham are doing really well, but you always feel they're in with a shot against them. Obviously with what's happening with Tony, he's played a 1 or 2 games now behind closed doors and stuff like that. But it's obviously he's not going to stay there, isn't it? He's probably going to get moved elsewhere. So, but
the only thing, they slapped a 100 million price tag on him. I know everyone was saying, we get him out of there in January for about 60. Brentford are saying he's going nowhere unless it's 100 million.
Well, here, look what we spent on Anthony. Look what we spent on Anthony. Do you know what I mean?
We're gonna be talking about that later. Actually, I have a slide for everything. Don't worry.
Fair play.
It's like I preempt these things, isn't it? Really.
Exactly. And we didn't even discuss this beforehand.
Any red cards on the show yet? There's about to be 6 or 7 in this Monday night game. Awesome.
Michael
I'll tell
Oliver,
you the one thing. It's going to be interesting if Chelsea get the win here. This league is going to tighten up something fierce. Really,
Michael Oliver was letting things flow too much there in the first half. I know with the Romero sending off and the one before that, the 2-foot challenge. But Jesus Christ, man.
He got to 15 minutes and then he went over to the VAR screen and he seen his reflection and goes, "This isn't me." And straight back out. We will be talking VAR, don't worry. You're not here just for those baby Elvis looks. Don't worry about that.
I should have went back. I should have stayed in Blackpool, shouldn't I?
Absolutely, yeah. For the tan.
Exactly.
Everton won, Brighton won.
Yeah. Can I just say what a finish by Dunk? I know the goal was reeled offside, but did you see that finish from a centre half man? Side foot inside of the bar, bang. Yeah, but like strangely enough, I would have had this down as a draw. I don't know why, because you think about like Brighton have been doing decent things. Obviously, they've one eye on Europe now as well this season, which hasn't really started too well and stuff like that. Everton, we're trying to get in a run of things going, but yeah, I think I would have put it down for a draw. Listen, I think it was a fair result in the end.
Do you know what I have to say, Joe? I was looking at this game and when I was seeing Ashley Young with the OG, I was thinking, this is great. Not only is it Everton, it's X United and it's for the draw. And then I was thinking yesterday, I said, the lads are going to hit me up now, Chong, after getting the winner for Luton. And I was going, this is
if Ro's watching you, I sent him a voice note when I seen it was 1-0 yesterday, so he wasn't he wasn't too pleased. Even
Josh Cullen is not Prem standard. What you reckon, Mark? Josh Cullen not Prem standard?
No, yeah. See, it's like he's definitely a championship player, 100%.
Yeah, I think Chelsea win will benefit everyone, to be honest, because like Spurs have just been losing the run of themselves a little bit, Nigel, haven't they, really, when you think
in fairness, like the first 10-15 minutes there, they were playing really good football. The passing was slick. Son's goal, it's tight margins there. He's offside by probably a centimetre or two, and it was a great finish by him. But yeah, Jesus, Chelsea got back into it there, and they probably will go on to win it by a goal, let's say.
It'll be a sickener as well for the Spurs fans as well, potching the Chelsea seat and stuff.
Yeah.
Man City 6, Bournemouth 1.
Just an annihilation, wasn't it? And even Haaland went off at half time and stuff like that. I think didn't two of the centre half score? Was it Ake scored?
Ake got one and Akanji got one, yeah.
Akanji, and obviously Doku getting up to his old tricks with a few assists and a goal and stuff like that. The only thing is the appointment.
4 assists.
Yeah, but the only thing is if you put me in your fancy, you know how Pep likes to play roulette. That's why I never like having too many City players in my team. You never know what he's gonna play.
Yeah, true. It's when you're doing your fantasy football, it's so difficult when it's Man City as well, isn't it? Because you just with Pep, he likes to tinker slightly in some of those positions, and it's even mad. You look at it there, Doku and Grief. Like you look at the list, we got Doku scores Rodri. Silva scores Doku.
Yeah. Madness. And you look at like I said, even last season, if you had Grealish in your team and stuff like that, you were in your fancy team, he wasn't guaranteed a start, and even though he just signed for 100 and whatever million it was. And sure, he dropped Ellison there a few weeks ago. So I've Ellison in my team, and you think that's guaranteed, but he was dropped there a few weeks ago.
Hear me now, all right?
Yeah, I can hear you now, yeah.
This mic is, I think I have to get a new mic. This mic is just acting up. It was doing it earlier as well. I don't know what's going on. It's like a loose connection or something.
You started sounding like Elvis, so it must be a good mic.
Elvis currently, like.
Elvis Costello. Elvis Costello.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, but it's just, I was saying there, when you get down through the list, like even Oscar Bob getting in this list.
Yeah. Look, Haaland went off at half time. Alvarez is having a fantastic season as well. Don't forget, I know the likes of Haaland and stuff will take the plaudits and all, but Alvarez has been lethal for them. Especially, he's starting a lot more now as well, you know.
Yeah, but they're bringing guys through as well. You can see it. Just...
That's your new mic getting delivered to the door. It's fast way out the door for you with a package. Anyway, lads, any comments there you want to drop in while I'm sitting here while he's ordering his takeaway, you know? I can't hear you, cuz.
There you go. 9 o'clock every Monday. You can hear me now. Now I can go peacefully. Yeah, but a huge win for Man City there, 6-1. Yeah, then we get into Chef. Go ahead, yeah.
I was just going to say, there's nothing Bournemouth could do. Like they'd be happy to score a goal against them, but you know, listen, conceding 6, it's not unusual.
Absolutely. The Luton result was disgusting. Yeah, it really was. It was just, I tell you, and it could have been worse. Could have been worse. Or find a dodgy stream online. Or find a dodgy stream online like me. Absolutely. Normally, if you're using a VPN, Nigel, probably the likes of Surfshark or one of those are pretty good. You know what I mean? If you're using a VPN. There you go. Is it, strictly speaking, legal at the upper tier? It's absolutely legal. It's absolutely legal to use a VPN, change your country, and go in and subscribe to something. Absolutely. That's why they allow you to do it. VAR waste playtime. They take too much time when it's shit. VAR, yeah, absolutely. Barry Redden. How are you, Baz? What's the crack? All good, pal. Seeing you today.
How are you, Baz?
Looking forward to Chelsea versus City on Sunday. Interesting. Imagine if Chelsea then beat City. Imagine that the same week Chelsea beat City and Spurs. That'd be something else, wouldn't it?
Everything be thrown into the air, wouldn't it?
City are doing so well with players they were able to sell, Palmer and all. Yeah, absolutely. They made some money out of their academy this summer. Incredible.
It's about time, though, isn't it? Like, we haven't seen it much from them, other than the summer just gone. There might be 1 or 2 players here and there every other summer getting sent out on loan and all, but we haven't really seen them sell too many graduates from the academy.
Yeah, absolutely. Sheffield United picking up a big win against Wolves.
Controversially as well. What did you think of the penalty? I didn't think it was a penalty, to be honest with you. I didn't think there was any contact there at all. Even the Sheffield United player that fell kind of just got up and tried to get back on with it. So I do really feel I feel sorry for Wolves. If I was a Wolves fan, I'd be really peed off now, I have to say. And nor with the penalty, he just went for power, just the underside of the bar. I thought it was going over when he hit it. But yeah, no, listen, fair play to him. It was a big 3 points, much needed. Again, they're like Burnley. I think everyone could see them going down. I can't see them staying up. They're on 4 points after 11 games. That's kind of like you're looking at Derby County. Remember that time they went on the low, what was it, 11 or 12 points or something like that, you know? And they're going to find it really hard. But listen, it was great to see this Bramall Lane erupt on Saturday when that penalty went in, especially how late it was in the game as well. What was it, the 100th minute or the 101st minute or something like that as well? But like I said, very, very soft penalty for me. Well, I say soft, it either is a penalty or it's not. It wasn't a penalty for me. Wolves have been hit with that over the last few weeks as well, and they can feel very aggrieved over it.
Yeah, absolutely. Mad to think that in a weekend you would have had Sheffield United potentially and Luton picking up wins.
That
would have been crazy, wouldn't it?
Yeah, but listen, it's gonna happen over the course of a season, because you know yourself, you know. the bigger, so-called bigger teams aren't going to keep going to the lower teams like this and getting results. There's going to be one or two hiccups along the way. Look, I said it to you a few weeks ago here. Luton are going to pick up points against the top six there at home. And we've seen it happen so many times. Like, obviously, like I just mentioned, Blackpool. Remember, Blackpool going to Bloomfield Road was always difficult for the bigger teams. I think we only scraped by a 2-1 win there. Berbatov scored the winner and stuff like that. We always struggled. And teams it's going to happen over the course of the season. There's no doubt about it.
Yeah. Now the big talking point. Well, one of the big talking points from the weekend till tonight. Newcastle 1, Arsenal 0. What did you make of
it? Well, we're going to have to talk about obviously the decisions that the kind of 3 decisions that led to the winner, the Newcastle goal. Well, that led to the Newcastle goal. Firstly, the angles for me for whether the ball was in or out, it's inconclusive. You know, I remember going on the referees course out in the Oscar Traynor before Abbottstown was actually built, the FEI headquarters, and Jerry Behan was the referee instructor that was teaching us. And on day one, we were all in for 8 hours going over it, like studying the laws of the game, and we were doing incidents on a white screen and videos and stuff like that. But on day 2, he brought us out to the Oscar Traynor and the Ashwell there, and for all different kind of different scenarios on the field of play. And one of them was he put a ball on the touchline, and he asked was it out for a throw or not. So we'd be all standing in the centre circle, and he'd call us over one by one. So one person would walk over to the sideline right in line with the centre circle, and he'd have the ball there, and you'd go over and he says, right, is that out for a throw or not? You'd have to tell him it could be a millimetre on the line and it's still in play. You might think it's only the shadow of the ball that's on that line, but if there's a little bit of a millimetre or so of the ball, it's in play. So the amount of times people got it wrong, you're going over, and of course, after everyone, like each person went over and back, Jerry would move the ball slightly, not to give the same answer all the time. But that's the fine lines, a millimetre of that ball. Like Dermot Gallagher said it earlier on, you see the lads taking corner kicks now. You don't think the ball is on the line from the corner kicks. You know, they're using it outside of it. Yeah, exactly. They're using it to gain an extra few yards or whatever, an extra few inches, whatever it might be. But that's this scenario for me. The only decision in that scenario that happened on the lead up to the goal that I would agree on personally was I thought was a foul on Gabriel. But again, it's not black and white. It's opinionated. You know, if different refs are going to have different. I would have given a free kick. I would have given a free kick to Arsenal. Would have been a free out. There would have been no goal. I felt it was a push. You could text another few lads, referees now. They would have given the goal. The offside again was inconclusive because they couldn't see the ball from the angle that the camera was at. So you can't give an offside. If in doubt, you can't give it. So personally, for me, like I said in the build-up to the goal, the only thing that I personally would give would have been a free kick to Arsenal and no goal. And again, there's probably people in the chat that won't agree with it, but that's the way it is. It's all opinions.
Yeah, absolutely. I just think.
But sorry, you know what I was going to say as well, because you've seen how angry Mikel Arteta. Now, this is the opposite. I'm playing devil's advocate here. You've seen how angry Mikel Arteta was in the interview, and exactly. But what I will say about that is Mikel Arteta, right? Your team had 14 attempts on Saturday against Newcastle and only 1 on target. So there's a fine line between like calling out decisions by the referee, but sometimes you have to take a look at your own team and say, right, we weren't good enough on the day. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah. Yeah, I wonder. I was looking at it, like I get it on the sideline for throw-ins and stuff like that, and I was thinking if they have, I think Udogie just got sent off here, did he?
No way.
Udogie, I think he did he?
About half an hour.
Yeah, Udogie's gone. He's after receiving a second yellow sent off, so Spurs are now down to 9.
Should have had a straight red in the first half anyway, shouldn't he?
Absolutely, yeah. Yeah, absolutely, Karen. This is mad. Where are we? Sevilla will bully Arsenal much worse on Wednesday. Interesting. Arsenal going to qualify from their group. They'll play 1-8, yeah, absolutely. Should have pulled the Gordon goal for offside, Mark. What did you make of the offside on it?
from the angle, it's inconclusive of where the ball was when it hit off. Well, who pushed Gabriel in the back that time?
It was Joe
Was it
Linton.
Joe Linton? Yeah.
Joe
So
Linton.
when from the angle that you're seeing from the back of Gabriel and Joe Linton, it's you can't tell where Joe Linton has touched the ball in terms of where Gordon's positioning is, if you know what I mean. So it's very hard to tell if he was offside again. It's one of those things. It's one person's opinion against another. I know it should be for an offside, but we can't tell where the ball was, so you can't give it.
Do you know what I was thinking? And I meant to say this here. I got distracted there. You know, on the end line.
Yeah.
Why don't they just extend the Hawkeye to each corner flag? You know, the goal line.
I know. I don't know. I don't know whether it's to do with kind of infrastructure and stuff like that. But I know what you're saying. But listen, this is another reason. I don't remember if you remember a few seasons ago, we used to have an official behind the goal. So it was for kind of stuff like this and all, but they quickly got rid of that as well.
It's very difficult though if you have an official behind the goal. If you're running out, if you look at the way he ran out to get that ball, how the hell are you even going to have visibility of it? But if you extend Hawkeye, whatever sensors or whatever they use, the technology, if you put Hawkeye even on the either side of the post and just extend it out to the flags, it wouldn't be that expensive to do it. And straight away, the ref is going to get a signal on his band on his wrist straight away
to say whether it's in or out. But
yeah, then that would avoid all that yesterday.
Yeah, no, 100%. But like, it's just too tough to call now. From even when there was what got me when there was officials behind the goal is they'd have them on the same side as the assistant referee. So where he should be the opposite side, where the assistant referee is covering one side and he's covering the other. But they had them on both sides on the same. Yeah, but they had them on the same side. So anyway, I digress.
Enzo Fernandez going off, Michaela Mudryk coming on. Hopefully that's not an injury. It's just tactical because Chelsea have been absolutely buried with injuries this season. What did you make? Arteta's outbreak, okay. What did you make then? The club came out with a statement supporting him. It's a bit strange, wasn't it?
Well, they have to, don't they? They have to come out and support their manager. I've seen clips of Ian Wright was on, I don't know what show it was, him and Shay Given were on the panel anyway, and Wright, he was going mad as well, and he was agreeing with Mikel Arteta. And listen, it's one of these things where you interview a manager straight after the match, he's in the heat of the moment, and he's saying things, and, you know, do you give him 15, 20 minutes to calm down and stuff like that? But like I said, I can understand from one or two, like, it's particularly the foul, I understand 100%. I can see where he's coming from. But then at the same time, like I said, his team didn't play well enough to beat Newcastle on the day. Like I said, the 14 shots, one on target. So you have to step back and look at yourself before you go and blame others, you know?
Yeah, I think that's a lot of what's come out as well. Like I just found it kind of weird because when the dust all settles, then you go back and you look at it's easier to look at it after the fact. But he was absolutely raging and fuming and stuff.
And
like
even
that.
In the press conference, that was the interview. Yeah. Even in the press conference after that as well, you could see he was still mad angry as well. Yeah. So,
and you can understand it as well because from your position, if you believe you've been done wrong, you know, and all our managers have gone through it, you know, it's such fine marriage. Like you think about it, he's under such pressure at the moment. If he doesn't land a trophy this season, he could be out the door. This is his fourth or fifth season now there at Arsenal. Spent an awful lot of money. And those fine little decisions and stuff like that. Now, I'm not disagreeing with the decision. When you go back and you look at everything, probably the goal stands. But you can understand the pressure that they're under in the moment. Like these guys are fighting for their jobs every week, you know what I mean? And I think he alluded to that as well, didn't he? He actually said it. He says in these moments, he says the pressure that we're under, the pressure that the club and the players and everything are under and stuff like that and all, you know, the intensity of it is huge, you know?
100%, Coach, 100%. And listen, their jobs are on the line and stuff like that. From decisions that are made by referees. But another thing we've discussed at referee meetings as well, it's so difficult as well to make decisions the way players carry on. Like you talk about, look at that Sheffield United and Wolves game, the penalty. The player wasn't touched and he still goes down. he's feigning an injury, or he's diving, let's say, to get a decision out of a referee. Even simple things as if someone gets a throw, you know yourself, a player will start bringing it forward like 5-10 yards and stuff like that. It all starts with players. Like, obviously, listen, I'm biased. I'm a referee myself, but players don't help themselves with referees making decisions either, And that it's a knock-on effect then, if a referee makes a decision against you, your job's on the line, and it's easy to hit out, and we'll see what happens anyway. But listen, there's this discussion about VAR has come back up yet again for another weekend, and I think it will continue to do so unless we just get rid of it and go back old school.
Well, it's every weekend. It's every match night now at this stage. Even tonight, there's going to be questions coming out of tonight's game and stuff like that. So
I think the one thing that VAR done right tonight was obviously for the Chelsea goal that led to the penalty that was initially offside, but it went back to Romero's challenge on, I think, was it Enzo? And that was a disgrace of a challenge. So it is good for things like that the officials don't pick up on the pitch, because in fairness for the assistant referee, there was a lot of bodies in the way. It was in the box. Michael Oliver probably didn't have a good view of it either. So it's good for things like that. But on the other hand, like, we've seen the opposite.
Yeah, absolutely. Forest 2, Aston Villa 0. Some would say a shock, but Stevie Cooper, he's creating quite a fortress out of this City ground now, isn't he?
He is. Like, to be honest with you, he probably would have happily taken a draw against Villa yesterday, particularly the form that Villa are in, and obviously it's a little kind of a, like you say, a fortress, and when it's bouncing, it's bouncing. And what a finish that first goal was. Side foot from how far out into the bottom corner. Obviously, the second one's a mistake by Martinez, but it's a much needed 3 points for Nottingham Forest, because they've got the next, I think between now and Christmas, they have some really tough fixtures coming up. Against the likes of Newcastle's and Arsenal's and West Ham's and Brent. They've a few tough games, so it's a massive 3 points. Disappointing day at the office for Villa. They'll have to regroup and go into the weekend now, and another quiet one for Ollie Watkins, because I know they bet Luton last week and he had no assists or goals, so he'd be chomping at the bit now this weekend to get back on board.
Yeah, Danny's very shippy. Better before it was better. But the whole definition of this, I don't know if you're watching it. I was watching the Fulham game on Saturday at lunchtime. And I always listen to Goldbridge on the United stand, because I just think he's so entertaining. It's so funny. And when McTominay, did you see it today? See, Rashford called them out today.
No, I didn't see that. No.
They put up a show today about Rashford, talking stuff about Rashford. And Rashford retweeted it and had a go off them, telling them to take it down. These malicious lies or something like that.
As you well know, I was with two former Man United players 2 weeks ago, and one of them, I'm not going to name which one, wasn't speaking very nicely about Mr. Goldbridge.
Yeah, but it's an interesting one. But when McTominay scored, he jumped up out of the seat and he was going around and he was giving it all this Max sauce and all this kind of stuff. And giving it lows, because obviously the relief as well, the pressure on United on Saturday was massive.
Oh, big time.
You know what I mean?
But what I would say there, Danny, is
when it was chalked off, it was the absolute definition of how VAR has killed our joy of football that we can't even celebrate now.
Celebrate,
Go ahead, Jess.
No, I was just going to say, Danny, listen, before it, we were all in favour of it because we'd be all giving about these niggly decisions. I don't think it's shit. I think how it's used has been shit. I think it can be used better, and we need more training involved in it. You could take it away, but you'd be still having those arguments on a Monday morning at work. Oh no, he was offside. We should have gotten this. We should have had a penalty. I just think it's how it's been used isn't right. I think if it's used correctly, as we've seen in the likes of rugby and cricket, I think it would be much better. The microphone gone again.
Here we go. Back again. All good.
Happy days.
Oh, tell you. Unbelievable. Yeah, as you said, it's a tough one to call though, isn't it? It's really like, you're damned if you do and you're damned if you don't with it, isn't it? And it's like everything. Like, everything has its flaws. Technology has its flaws. Everything has its flaws. You know what I mean? So, good Warren. Thank
Definitely.
you. Como's in. Long 30 minutes left for men. Absolutely, Grahamo. Gonna have to.
Yeah.
In it
Is it
this
still 1-1, is it? Just
It's still
checking here.
1-1 at the moment. 65 minutes gone. Yeah, about 30 minutes left, as Grahamo says there. Yeah,
9
Graham,
minutes.
I feel your
9
pain.
minutes.
Haven't we been there before, sure?
Too right. Yes. In the exact same ground and everything.
Warren, did you watch League Gunner stream? Jez was killing Arteta. So that's a normal day on Lee's channel. Udogi should have known not to tackle for second yellow foolish. Absolutely. 90s, 2000s refereeing was better in my opinion.
The
How
game
about
was
that?
probably the game was probably less technical and more like there were more tackling involved and stuff like that. You know.
Danny, do you not remember how
More
much
was
we
let
used to
go.
give out about refereeing with United and stuff like that back in the 90s and the
No,
2000s?
but in fairness to Danny, a lot more was let go as well back then. You know that sort of way.
Yeah.
It
I
was
think it's got too pernickety now, kind of thing, hasn't it? Yeah.
And there's more players willing just to dive and stuff like that. You
Yeah.
didn't listen. There was the odd player here and there that would do it back in the day, but there's way more doing it now.
Yeah, Marcus, it's all just fucking attention complete. Two boys don't want to play ball. They don't have it set. Get the step and empty your locker and go home. Eno's on a mad one tonight. He's on a mad one. Ted's
So
in.
only Eno.
Wasn't here for Mark's opinion. What did he think of the offside against Maguire?
I thought you weren't here for my opinion. No, listen, I can see why it was given. When you look at it, remember the one again for City about a month or two ago when I think it was Ake's goal, was it? And there was a player standing in the line of the goalkeeper. When you look at that and then look at our goal, McTominay's goal on Saturday, it's very, very harsh. But at the same time, when it's given and you see the replay, I can see the angle of the referee's decision and the VAR where they came from, you know. But like I said, when you look at other decisions, it doesn't make it right. But I know where they're coming from.
Mark Cucurella's just after missing a sitter, apparently.
Really?
Yeah, Ted's in. Or was in. Where's that gone? Felt it was very questionable call. Yeah, he went for it, but he didn't touch the ball. And technically, the run into the box that we see from players all the time affects play. True, it does, and it's going. Yeah. That's when you're getting into, isn't it? That's such a subjective situation, isn't it?
Yeah, exactly. Like I said, I can see where they're coming from, but when you look at other incidents, it is harsh, I think.
Yeah, absolutely. Bring back Graham Paul, greatest Premier League referee.
Paul. Uriah Rennie.
Uriah Rennie as his assistant. Remember Uriah Rennie? Yeah. Facts, no, the referee's always been shit. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, no problem, Jack. I'll do that once I'm off the stream. Not a problem at all, Paul. No hassle. Luton won, Liverpool won.
Yeah. What did you think?
Oh, I did a match reaction there early, and I'm chalking it down to a bad day at the office. That's all I can chalk it down to. I think inside 25 minutes we could have been 3-0 up. On another day we probably would be. I just think it was one of those days where it just didn't go in for us, and then what happened was the same when we're playing those low blocks. We always have one of those games in us every season, if you remember. It happens every season, and it tends to be against that lower league and opposition and stuff like that. And it was just, they were absolutely brilliant, I have to say. And what they did was they turned the clock back on us, because we did a similar number on Forest the previous week at Anfield, where they were low blocking, but what we did was we gave them a little bit of the ball and dragged them out, and then we hit them on the counter, and that's how we opened them up. And I thought we were going to do the same thing, but obviously the Luton manager has skilled them well, and they were too clever to allow us to do it. I was very impressed with Ogbene. When I did the preview, Mark, I mentioned Ogbene, I mentioned Ross Barkley in the middle of the park, and I reckon Chong, I mentioned Chong as well, that these were going to be the dangerous guys on the pitch and stuff like that. And that's how it kind of unfolded, you know.
Ogbene's been fantastic for them. I've watched it. Obviously, I've watched a lot of them for them in the championship. And what I will say about their goal is they've done that an awful lot in the championship. Catch teams on the counter, use their pace. I think bringing Ross Barkley in, I've never been a massive fan of him, but he's brought that extra little bit of quality to them as well. But Bonnet has just been unbelievable. Like you think about it. You think he's only a young lad. He's 26 now, you know. So he's been knocking around for a while. Had a good few seasons with Rotherham and stuff like that. After coming from Cork, he played for a team in just out Tremor Athletic, I think, just outside Douglas in Cork there, and he had been watched at the Kennedy Cup and stuff like that down there, and got his move over to England, and he's been excellent. You've seen him yourself, because he's been excellent. He just runs up and down all day long. It's the work he does off the ball as well. The space he creates for some of the other players, you know, the likes of Morris and stuff like that people don't see on the telly as well, you know. I thought it was an excellent performance for them, and I think they, again, like I said, they do have that type of performance to put in against teams, but they need to be doing it against the teams around them, to be picking up 3 points rather than a point here and there off the big top 6 teams, you know.
Do you know what I thought was very clever yesterday? I don't know if many people picked up on it though or not. We obviously put Joe Gomez in there instead of Costas.
Yeah.
And the reason we put Joe in there, I think, was to deal with Ogbene. But when they realised we had done that, what did they do? They waited for us to invert Trent, and they shoved Ogbene over onto the left.
Seen that,
and it was so clever. And we just didn't pick up on it. Yeah. We didn't pick up on it at all. And to think about where we realised with his pace and strength, he could be a danger. So we put Joe in there, because Costas can be a little bit, when he's up against pace and stuff like that, he can be a little bit trouble. Not to say that Trent isn't either.
No,
but he knew obviously when they were going to sit back that we were going to invert Trent in. And what we were going to do is we were going to slide into a tree with Joe sliding in more to be the left-sided centre-back.
Yeah.
And what happened was that opened up the whole left-hand side for Ogbene, and you see him, he just moves position, and he's over there, and his pace, and at one stage you see he just destroyed Trent at one stage.
Yeah, no, the pace is unbelievable. I think the only kind of positive you'd have from a Liverpool point of view is obviously seeing Diaz in the team and scoring the equaliser and what meant to him. And obviously, listen, he's in an awful situation at the moment, and no one knows what will be going through his head, you know. And it was kind of like a storybook finish, him getting the equaliser and lifting up the jersey and stuff like that, you know. And hats off to him for getting through it, you know, with everything that's going on at home back in. With his family and stuff, you know, and hopefully everything is resolved and his dad is okay as well, you know, because, like, listen, rivalries aside and all that, football's put aside for stuff like that, you know. There's more important things in life.
Yeah, I think you're right, Danny. Rarely saw Liverpool lack so much precision. Just focus, lads. What the fuck? Yeah, and I mean, it's funny enough when you listen to the Gaffer's post-match press conference. I did it in the review earlier on the channel. The gaffer turned around and said to them, a bit more calm and a bit more patience and a bit more control. So go out there. We were just so haphazard all over the place. I don't know what formation we were playing. There was players cropping up everywhere. The whole middle of the park was so congested. We weren't playing anything down the wings in terms of width to open them up. And it reminded me of that game I think we had at Anfield when we were up against a 10-man Chelsea. And we just couldn't break them down. But we just kept on doing the same thing over and over again. And then we got frustrated. And then you start banging shots from 20 yards and 30 yards. You just lose your whole plan. And then you start doing unorthodox things that are out of like, you know, just out of character. And then you just lose your whole plan. And then it just goes to hell. And everything's just... And it's so hard to get it back, even as a manager on the sideline.
You needed a Xabi Alonso to score from inside his own half in Kenilworth Road. Has that ever happened before, no?
Absolutely.
Well, you know yourself, listen, it's a tough place to go, cause, isn't it? Like, the fans are practically on top of the pitch and stuff like that. It is. It's
so claustrophobic. So claustrophobic. I mean, look at even when you look at the changing rooms, you look at everything. You come from a place like Anfield. I think Chelsea.
And the pitch is a lot narrower as well, cause it's a lot
Chelsea
narrower.
Just
you look at
there.
Oh, did they?
Yeah, 2-1. Jackson on the 75th minute has just scored, as far as I know. So Chelsea in the lead there, 2-1 now against 9-man Tottenham. But yeah, it just felt so claustrophobic, and then you're out on the pitch, and the pitch feels so claustrophobic. We're used to spraying 70-yarder balls, you know, cross field to the likes of Mo Salah and all, and Mo was so isolated he couldn't do anything. The whole thing was just a disaster, really. You know, just nothing kind of went the way we thought. 15 minutes plus extra, plus additional time. Absolutely, yeah. 2-1 Chelsea, 2-1 Chelsea. Good, yeah. That's what we want. Tighten up the league. So yeah, that's our Premier League review. But certainly interesting, and no doubt more conversations are going to come out of the game tonight. No doubt about that as well. Before we go any further, of course, a quick mention. Mark, you give us an update. I've seen some pictures on Instagram this week. A couple of birthday parties and stuff.
Yeah, on a birthday party that over the weekend, Elijah's 6th birthday party, we had trophies down there. Him and his mates all loved it. I did get a few pictures of the adults with the trophies as well. They looked like they were having a much better time than the kids. But yeah, I still have a few slots left for next month for December. So if you want something different at your Christmas party or the lead up to Christmas or whatever, give me a shout on Insta. WhatsApp, or we're on our Facebook page as well. So yeah, no, it was great to see the kids' reactions and stuff like that as well. And next year we might have one or two big things coming with a few legends as well. So keep your eyes and ears open for that.
VAR are checking the goal.
Oh yeah, no way. Oh gee.
VAR are checking the goal here. I'm not too sure because I'm not actually watching. I'm just following it here on Live Scores. But under review, the referee has stopped the game. VAR are checking the goal. Goal stands. There you go. 2-1. Goal stands.
Happy days.
Phew. There we go. But yeah, folks, hit them up. Hogan Elite Trophy Horror for that special occasion. Birthdays, christenings, communions, confirmations, whatever it is. Even the odd wake or the odd funeral has pitched in at times. So sometimes it's football.
That's it. Like we're going to be at Lucan United now in a few weeks, the first weekend in December. So it's the last weekend of their academy before they break up. So Santa does be there giving out selection boxes and stuff like that. So we're gonna be having the trophies up there as well. So like I said, if you have anything coming up over Christmas, we've a few slots left as well. So and then we've a few things coming up with a few legends next year.
Excellent. Just to let you know, 77 minutes gone. Reece James going off. Malo Gusto coming on. Yeah, that to me is a good move as well. Reece James struggling with injuries and stuff like that, so good to keep him tidy, as they say. Jackson 100% offside, but didn't touch it when Sterling took it. Ruled that goal off. Chelsea will pay 100 million for Tony in January. Yeah. 5 million over 20 years.
They have a small squad, so they need more players in, you know.
Absolutely. Let's get into this then. Some news. Got to talk about this one, of course. Suarez being asked about Ronaldo putting out some emojis and stuff like that. I think on Instagram it was, or on X or whatever it was. And Suarez was asked about it, and he says, "I don't care. We only see him in the penalty box or shedding tears in the comment section nowadays." I think as well. Did I read as well? Suarez as well. I think he's on his way to Inter Miami to link up with Messi again.
He is, yeah. From what I read, yeah, there's a contract already been done out for him and stuff like that. So it was bound to happen, wasn't it?
Oh my God, it's 2-2. Tottenham have just scored, I think.
Goyer's offside, is he? Acers, I think so.
No goal. Jeez. Thank God, we're all good. This is all happening tonight, isn't it? This is crazy.
Sky Sports News straight on after this.
Dyer offside. It'd have to be Eric Dyer as well, wouldn't it? Only have to come back in and boom.
Did you see? Was it just me, or did he have a mullet when he was coming on there today? The bleeding state of him.
I'm looking at a tracer here. I'm not looking at people. Goal under review.
It sounds like a mad game, doesn't it?
This is crazy. Yeah, this is one you'd probably relish reffing this one, would you?
Oh, stop!
Plenty to do.
Like I said, Mike Oliver will have an assessor. There's a referee assessor from the Premier League in the crowd, so that'll be some conversation after for the half an hour or so.
Imagine the length of the match report. Imagine the length of the ref's match report. Good Lord!
Spurs have 2 points. Spurs have 2 fines to pay now as well for the red cards.
I'm sure they can afford it. They've been stacking cash for hundreds of years at this stage. What did you make of this news today? Apparently interest from the Saudi Pro League. Number of clubs very interested in acquiring Bruno Fernandes. What did you feel about this? Any how do you feel?
It's like, listen, it's that players are going to get linked to Saudi, aren't they? You happened to have ran there a few weeks ago as well. There's going to be names put out there as well. You know, till something I think is set in stone, and I see him with the scarf or the jersey in the hand. I'm not going to read too much into it, you know. He hasn't had the greatest start of the season, you know, since he got the captain's armband. Listen, I talked about him since, remember he got the captain. Remember Maguire was injured for the Europa League final. He had the captain's armband on, and all he done for 90 minutes was whinge and moan at the referee, you know. So, it's part. Listen, it could be true, but I'm not going to read too much into it. But listen, if they want him, they can have him. We've got Mason Mount there, you know.
Goal over to Mason Mount. Good Lord. Interesting one. I was listening as well. Jamal Lascelles as well came out and he says he was glad that they beat Arsenal because Jorginho was having none of the handshake at the end of the game. It was a tasty old game, though, in fairness, you know what I mean? It wasn't a game for handshakes. And I think if I was on the receiving end of that, even though we seen what happened, I wouldn't be in a hurry to be handshaking anyone, you know. It'd be fairly it was kind of a nasty weekend for football as well, wasn't it? There was a bit of bite to it and stuff like that on a lot of these games, wasn't it?
It's good to see, though, isn't it? It brings you back, like one of the lads mentioned there in the 90s. It brings you back to that, you know. I was watching. I don't know if you've seen it, the Beckham documentary, and you're seeing clips of the game. Remember, your man Linton came in and nearly broke Beckham up after and stuff like that. You get Keano coming up, squaring up to him and all. It's great to see. Not good for a referee, though.
Yeah, I was saying to Warren and the boys there. I was watching the Premier League years there a couple of weeks ago. I was watching one of the games Arsenal was in. I can't remember who. It might have been playing United. Boy, God, they were breaking each other up.
But do you know what it is as well? And like in St. James's Park, don't the crowd just add to it? Any game, they bring that little bit of extra, and it makes it a little bit more spicy than it should be, or something. It's a mad place to go to. Obviously, I've been there before, and the atmosphere is great, you know.
Yeah, I think they were looking at the offside. It was the offside. I think they were looking at. Craig is in. Big up, Craig. Yeah, why would Jorginho shake any of their hands after getting clattered all game by that Doug Maris?
All right, Spud, you're not a bitter Arsenal fan, are you?
I was going back and forward, Craig. I think it was on Twitter. We were chatting about it and stuff like that, and also.
In fairness, Bruno was a lucky man. He should have been booked 2 or 3 times before he actually got booked.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, and that was. You would have thought, though, you know, like Jorginho should be a tough guy, shouldn't he? He should be able to handle that. You know what I mean? Now I know it shouldn't happen.
Yeah.
But he fancies himself as a bit of a tough guy himself. You know what I mean? So. There was a few people this weekend were found out as well, you know. But yeah, Craig, tell us what. Look, we know what happened with the goal and stuff like that, but it's just Arteta absolutely losing it, and he'll probably get. What'll happen with Arteta now, Mark? He'll probably get sanctioned, will he?
They mightn't to kind of, you know, because of the few decisions that couldn't be made from camera angles and stuff like that. They mightn't try to do anything. They might try to just brush it under the carpet. But if they want to make a kind of a statement and ban him or whatever, they're setting precedents for what they can do for other managers as well. But I don't think they're going to do it.
Yeah, absolutely. Did you see they came out today as well and said they wouldn't be taking any further action on Luis Diaz exposing the message on the T-shirt under the jersey?
Yeah, saying that. Listen. You couldn't do that. Like,
I put a comment underneath it on the FA's Twitter going, some things are actually bigger than football, folks.
Big one. Like I said, didn't I say that exactly earlier on? Like, you know, you put football aside, you know, there's more important things in life than that, you know.
Yeah, absolutely. 100%.
And by the way, Craig, we all agreed, everyone in the chat agreed, myself and I agreed, all the decisions in the lead up to the goal were correct. Goal should have stood.
Yeah, absolutely. 100%. What have you made of this, man? Absolutely tearing it up in Germany.
Unreal. Seeing the goal from inside his own half there last week and stuff like that. And he's just, everything he touches turns to gold over there now. Wouldn't it be funny if he did that all season and he didn't come out with a trophy? Obviously, they're bound to win a trophy, but it'd be just, I think it'd be hilarious if he left Germany with absolutely zilch trophies.
Yeah, it's interesting, all right, isn't it? But they did drop the ball, didn't they, in the cup? They lost to a third division team or something.
Yeah, they did. Yeah,
screaming for Tuchel to go, screaming for him to go.
Should have talked about last week coming to United and all that, you know.
Yeah, Did you see the clip today as well? I seen the clip today, the Leon game, where they called the manager over and he had to address the ultras.
No, I didn't see that. No.
Over Leon's form or something like that. Yeah, I didn't get the whole story now or something like that, but fans are certainly having a serious say these days and things.
Oh, sure. The ultras in Italy and stuff like that, they turn up at the training ground and the players they fear for their lives and stuff. It's crazy. Like,
yeah, absolutely. Aces, R.I.P. Dortmund. So, yeah, absolutely. Yeah, absolutely. What do you make of this? This came up today on one of the sites. We're signing in Premier League history.
He'd be up there. No doubt. He's done absolutely nothing. I think you could put Martial beside him, maybe join first. Martial should have gone years ago. You've seen him. He went on loan with Seville, and he was still brutal. But definitely, listen. You look at his goal involvements and his goal scored and stuff like that. The only good thing I think he done was his debut goal against Arsenal. What a finish that was, Craig?
Yeah, he. I was listening to Fabrizio Romano as well. He was talking today on one of the shows, and he was saying that this talk of this swap thing coming up with João Barbosa is it's absolute nonsense. They just both have the same agent apparently.
But you think obviously Ten Hag would have obviously known a lot about him, having managed him at Ajax, and to spend the money on him, you're thinking as a fan, right? Jesus, he must have something about him. Obviously, then he scores on his debut against Arsenal, but I think it's all kind of gone downhill from there, hasn't it? He's just. Do you remember the video of him squaring up to Lewis Dunk when we played Brighton at that time? And all, I'm like, "Are you all right, kid?" Oh man,
he does have that kind of Richarlison nasty streak about him, though, doesn't he?
Yeah. But listen, you wouldn't mind it if you could actually back it up and play some decent football as well, but he can't do that. Listen, when he came in, I'd high hopes for him, but they're seriously gone down the drain. And like I said, there's a few more in there you could name, the likes of Martial and stuff like that as well. And listen, we've had some really bad players over the years. If you look back, the likes of Cleberson and Jamba and you name it. But listen, he's definitely up there 100%.
Yeah, absolutely. Be interesting to see how things develop there and stuff like that.
But you're looking at last week's game against Newcastle, and listen, it was a tough game at home, but the likes of Palestri and all should be given a chance. Listen, Rashford, thank God he was dropped on Saturday against Fulham. Obviously, he said he picked up a knock and train, and he wasn't. Listen, I think that's bullshit. I think he was just dropped from the squad, and that was
the basis. That was the basis of today's tweet and stuff like that.
Yeah.
They were questioning whether he was injured and stuff like that. Yeah.
I think it was bullshit, if I'm being honest with you. I think it was kind of just let's go along with this. Let's play it down slightly, and because. If we had a loss, obviously it would have been blown up a bit more. But listen, he hasn't provided anything over the last few weeks as a United fan. The only time when he looks at any way like he's going to do anything when he has the ball at his feet, he's so lazy off the ball. It's unbelievable. And you could have Palestri on one side, Garnacho on the other side, and stuff like that. I think. But like I said it to my dad after the Newcastle game, you could start the whole of the 23 team against Fulham on Saturday and give them a chance, because they couldn't do a worse job than what I've seen in the previous two games.
Yeah, it's a frustrating time at United. There's just Darren said it last week on Thursday Tier Talk as well. The club is trying to juggle so much crap at the moment. There's stuff going on everywhere at every level. So much stuff going on at the moment, and it's just
a good thing was there as well. I don't know if any of the United lads seen it. Like, they organised a meal on Saturday night. Then after the win, it was good to see the whole squad get together and a bit of bonding and stuff like that. And hopefully, listen, I think that works. When you bond off the pitch, we've seen it with the likes of Yorkie and Cole and stuff in the past. If you're tight off the pitch, it will come onto the pitch and stuff like that. We've a really tough game against Copenhagen. It's a must win for us during the week, and we've Luton at home on Saturday, which, listen, you'd be expecting to win, but us, the way we played this season, nothing's guaranteed, So hopefully little things like that. Exactly. Like I said, little things like that, like the whole squad going out together, hopefully we'll start building things up and they can play as a unit.
Yeah, 90 minutes gone, still 2-1 to Chelsea. Vicario injured at the moment. Yeah, let's see what comes out of that. I thought I'd brighten up your day and finish the show with this. This day in 1986, Sir Alex was appointed as manager of Manchester United, and I was just looking at that going, for all the respect I have for him, that whiskey nose fecker did ruin me for over 2 decades.
Oh man,
You know what I mean?
do you know? As listen, you know yourself, because you were around back then as well, and for the United fans that know, but you know his first 3 or 4 years weren't the easiest. Obviously after Ron Atkins left, no one, there was names bandied about and stuff like that. Yeah. There was names bandied about, and obviously Bobby Charlton met up with Martin Edwards, and Bobby Charlton met with Sir Alex when he was at Aberdeen, and obviously Aberdeen had beaten the likes of Real Madrid and stuff like that, and he told them of what he wanted to do, and that was to build Manchester United up right from the bottom to the top, and that's from the youth system that he brought the youth teams into the Cliff, the old training ground and stuff like that. He wanted to produce all these young players and stuff, and Bobby and Martin fed into it and gave him an opportunity. And obviously we know that goal that Mark Robins scored in the FA Cup that saved his job, you know, and they went on to win it. Then obviously they won the FA Cup in 1990. They won the FA Cup in 1990 with a former Legends teammate of mine, Lee Martin. Then obviously we went on to win the Cup Winners' Cup in 91, and it was just a knock-on effect from there. And success breeds success. All the players started coming in that, you know, in 94, 90, the likes of the Beckhams and the Nevilles and Scalzi and Giggsy and Butty and you know, what he started back in the early 90s in terms of the academy came to fruition, and it was great to see. And to be honest with you, cuz,
I know,
every now and then I'd be sitting there on a Saturday night after match of the day and I say, Jesus, do you know what? I always switch on his last game against Swansea for some reason. I still get goosebumps. You know, when he's walking out and there's a guard of honour and stuff like that, and the Impossible Dreams playing in the background, I literally get teary and still get goosebumps watching that, his last game.
Yeah, I mean, what he did was absolutely incredible, and to be so close. And that's why I often say to people, you know, because I lived through it all and the heartache of it, and you know, every Monday morning or Monday evening going into work, whether I was doing shift work or day work or whatever it was, just getting absolutely dogs abuse from United fans every single week after week after week. You know what I mean? And it's just, and that's why that's my biggest fear. My biggest fear is that, like, you get a situation like Saturday where you're on the cusp of sacking a manager and he gets a dirty win like that.
Yeah.
And then anything can happen, because you see with the course of history, you heard earlier when we were talking about Brentford, West Ham could have went 3-1 up. Suddenly they lose 3-2. Football history is so weird that way. And I say to people all the time, I am a Liverpool fan. I'm a football fan. But when United are down, you really have to keep them down. You have to put your foot on the head in the swimming pool and keep them underwater. Because if they do rise up again, they have the financial clout. They have everything in place. They probably need new owners. There's no doubt about that. But financially, it's there. Obviously, they need work on the training ground and the stadium. But that, my fear is that they rise up again, and football moves in cycles.
You know, but you know, it's hopefully. But I tell you, I'll give you a quick story about Sir Alex. I remember being in a school that you will remember very well, because it was in St. Lawrence's in primary school. I think I must have been in about 4th or 5th class. And it was about 12 o'clock in the day. And Mr. O'Brien came to the door and called me out. I thought to myself, here, am I in trouble here or whatever? And you're being collected. You have a dentist appointment. And I was in my head going, I don't have a dentist appointment today, do I? So anyway, I got to the office, and my dad standing there, and he said, come on, quick. So get in the car and all. My mum's friend Bernie Doyle, she ran Milltown Golf Club, ran the bar and the restaurant and all. And fully enough, she only retired there last week or the week before, after being there, 30 odd years. Bernie ran me ma. Sir Alex Ferguson was playing a round of golf down in Milltown, and obviously she knew myself and my dad were big fans. So she rang the old house phone. I still remember the phone number. She rang the old house phone. So to say, listen, get Mark and Derek down here to Milltown Golf Club, get whatever you need to get some blah, blah. So my dad took me out of school in St. Lawrence's on that Wednesday. I think it was a Wednesday afternoon or something like that. And we went from St. Lawrence's over to Milltown Golf Club, and we waited in the bar till he came back in. And he was with a few Irish businessmen. I don't know who they were at the time.
Dermot
but
Desmond.
Could have been, yeah. Do you know what I mean?
100%.
And so Bernie came in and Bernie introduced. My dad brought the United jersey in the car and stuff like that. So he was in me sharp United jersey, and he came in and he rubbed me on the head. He's like, "How are you, kiddo?" And he signed a few things for me and all. And I was just kind of, do you ever see that clip of the mascot when Rooney stand beside him? He's like that.
Yeah.
Up and down. I was just like that. I was just like, I didn't know what was going on. It was fantastic. But yeah, Sir Alex Ferguson got me an afternoon out of St. Lawrence's in the Lower Kilmacud Road, so I was happy out.
And back then, an afternoon out of St. Lawrence's is the equivalent of dodging a beating. Just saying. Just putting that out
you
there.
know it, cuz you know it.
I know well. Just to let you know, 3-1 to Chelsea. Jackson just wrapped it up. 90 plus 4 minutes there. It's about 3 minutes or 4 minutes ago there. So Jackson getting a brace. You've had a bad day at the office. Jackson getting a brace.
Well, like if Chelsea hadn't gone on and bet them playing against 9 men, you'd have serious questions about Chelsea, wouldn't
you? Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, that was great. That must be a great memory to be able to do that and stuff like that. It's class, isn't it? And it's mad how contrived it was. I remember as well back in the day as well, wasn't it? The dental or the doctor's appointment was always the no, wasn't it? It was always the one, wasn't it?
You know yourself, cause this happened to me all the time, and obviously the teachers knew. Every Wednesday afternoon or Friday afternoon at 12 o'clock, I'll be taken out for a doctor because Ireland were playing a home international. And my dad used to bring me, remember, they used to be at 2 o'clock on a Wednesday or 2 o'clock on a Friday afternoon. My dad would bring me down and he'd sneak me under the turnstile. My dad, the lads, Gad Daly, they'd all meet up in Tom's and I'd go down and get changed. My dad grabbed me a quick chipper straight down to Lansdowne for my doctors. But the teachers obviously knew what was going on. Any home game Ireland had, I was leaving early, you know.
They used to let us off, and it'd always be Ireland versus Yugoslavia or something, wasn't it?
Something like that. Was it a thing for you as well? Any kind of match? Say it was even an away match. Say we used to get the bus rolls. Remember the bus rolls, the paper, and you throw them across the yard and throw them.
No, we had the big inflatable bananas.
The bananas, the 5 bananas,
the big 5 inflatable bananas, and then we used to after the match. Then we'd end up back in the lake in UCD. And we'd be going around the lake in UCD on these bananas like canoes. And security would be going ballistic, and there'd be dozens of us in there. It was crazy. It was just it was kind of a ritual.
You never get that back nowadays. Like I said, sneaking under the turnstile.
I'm not surprised you're here now. It's just gone 4-1, and Jackson has just got a hat trick.
You're serious?
If I'm a professional footballer and Nicholas Jackson scores a hat trick on me, I think I'm going to change my career.
Jesus Christ.
Just saying. It is 9 men, but it's an easy finish as Nicholas Jackson from Chelsea taps the ball into an open goal with the right foot. An open goal with the right foot. There you go. That sounds like Vicario came out or something like that and missed it or something like that. But there you go. 4-1 Chelsea. Speaking of something that could be a catalyst to launch a season, a 4-1 win against Spurs in that fashion for Poch at Chelsea will be huge. Absolutely, Aces. Jackson with a hat-trick. Phenomenal. And I said it there last week on one of the shows. I said Chelsea are very close to handing a beating out to someone because they have been doing something. They just have been blunt up front and stuff like that. Now, I obviously didn't perceive it being 9 men. 9 men Tottenham or anything like that.
And who are they playing this weekend? Because obviously they're going to be missing the 2 lads as well. We'll check that out.
I'm not too sure who they're playing. I can tell you now. Matches. Tottenham are away to Wolves at 12:30 on Saturday.
Be tricky game.
Tough game, yeah. Especially look. It's always going to be a tricky game if Eric Dyer's back in the side. Just saying.
Yeah.
Should have been 5-1. Jackson missed the sitter. Good Lord, they're on a tear at the moment. Absolute quality.
Aces put in there. I remember Alex Ferguson at the United shop in Dublin in the summertime. I remember that as well, Aces. I remember they opened it. Eamon Holmes was there. There was Andy Cole and Dennis Irwin. I was there with my ma. I remember it well, yeah.
Eamon Holmes was a huge United fan, wasn't he? Remember?
Yeah. Funny enough, go on YouTube. It's on YouTube. I had it on a VHS. he done a day in the life of a Manchester United match. So he went behind the scenes. It was recorded over a few home games, but he goes behind the scenes as what security does, what the receptionist does, and it even goes to the creche where all the Man United players' kids go and stuff like that. It's a good watch, but yeah, he's at the heart of it. He's a massive Manchester United fan.
It's quite a week on Good Morning Britain, was it?
yeah. And I come in, needless to say, the shop didn't last either on Delair Street there. Unfortunately.
Yeah, I wonder. You would have thought now of any shop, any kind of team shop would have survived. Like a Man United shop would have survived because you were absolutely flying at the time as well. And sure, every second person in Ireland was a United fan.
Yeah, because we used to have a little section in Arnott's. That's where I used to go and get me jerseys, or my mum and dad would bring me into and stuff like that. But yeah, when I opened in the Lear Street, it didn't open that long. But listen, it's like I can't believe the Celtic shop lasted in Jervis as long as it did. Because anytime, I work in Jervis. Anytime you look across at the Celtic shop, there was no one in it. And I knew one of the lads that worked there, and he said, "Are you busy today? We sold the football." I'm like, they were on one of the older. Rent license and stuff like that, but I don't know how they made a penny. But yeah, I thought the United shop would have lasted a little longer than it did. But
yeah, absolutely. Not like Wrestling Mania, 20 years strong.
No, 20 years. That's mad, isn't it?
20 years strong, nearly. Yeah, absolutely.
You have to do something for that. Yeah, I have to get one of the trophies in, or get 3 of the trophies in and celebrate.
Yeah, we'll have to get one of those commemorative belts done up or something like that. Get a custom one or something. Yeah, something crazy. But yeah, absolutely. Well, listen, pleasure having you on on tonight as always.
Cheers,
Daz, Jamie's live in 50 minutes now. I'll be on that, Daz. Don't worry about that. I'll be chasing that. Just a reminder again, folks, if you need a trophy for that special occasion, and I can tell you now from experiencing it and stuff like that, it absolutely adds to the day hugely. The kids are crazy about it. The parents are even worse, and it really, really adds to the day. Or if you're doing a charity event or whatever it is, we can facilitate you there. Contact Mark, Hogan Elite Trophy Hire, Facebook, Instagram, all the socials out there. Or you can contact me if you want. I'll put you in the right direction there. But it's amazing when the kids actually see the actual trophies and stuff like that. It's mind blowing and absolutely brilliant. As always, folks, if you could subscribe to the channel, hit the bell notification button, drop a like on the video, share the content. As always, let's keep on growing this community as we do. That has been another Monday Mashup, brought to you, of course, by Hogan Elite Trophy Hire for the whole of this season. I'll be back on Wednesday with Pro Wrestling Weekly. Plenty to talk about. We'll be reviewing Crown Jewel. Absolutely crazy. Thursday, I'll be back with Thursday Tier Talk with the Dazzler. We'll be going through Beat the Bookie. We'll be giving our picks for the Premier League weekend's action. Probably do a little review on the European action that has taken place as well. And then either Friday or Saturday, I'll be back with a Brentford preview. We're playing them Sunday at 2 o'clock Liverpool. And Sunday evening, probably a match reaction. So content coming at you thick and fast. Shorts going up every day, non-stop. Make sure you're sharing it. Keep on growing the community. We really appreciate your support. And have a great evening. Chelsea fans, I'm sure you'll be delighted. Redbird gets the final one as always. Spurs lost, so a draw don't look that bad now, does it? I don't feel too bad now, Redbird, at all. Spurs down to 9 men, a couple of injuries. Let's see how Ange Mate is doing in the post-match presser. Bless up, Redbird. Absolutely. Talk to you again real soon, folks. Cheers, cuz.
Cheers, cuz.